Hey everybody, it's Mum by Doug. Well, grab yourself a piping hot cup of cold Coke for this fireside chat. This should be fun, I think. First of all, I'm going to say this. It's late. It's 9:44, which is late for me to be starting a video, but we had some drama here tonight. Drama that will come out in a video soon. I don't want to talk about it until at least tomorrow, but I'm just going to leave it at that. You'll see. Anyway, we had Bible study tonight, and we just got home a little bit ago and had dinner, like at 9:30. So I'm ready to start my video. And guess what tonight's gonna be? Tonight's gonna be answering questions. Here's what I'm gonna do. The video where I said "Ask me anything," the question started with the very first comment, and so I'm going to start with that comment. But first, I got one video response that was directed right at me, and I want to answer that one first. That question came from Dreamer72Fem, so that will get first priority, and then I'll start going through the list of questions. Oh, and I apologize for this because I don't usually wear my glasses in the video, but I'm going to have to be reading from the screen, so I need to wear my glasses. Sorry about the glare. Can you tell I have glare-proof glasses? Yeah, right. Okay. Stacey asked what was the reasoning behind Darla and I having one child? Was that something we planned? Did it just happen? How did that all come to be? And Stacey asked because she's an only child. Darla is also an only child, and I can assure you that even before we were married but weren't really ready to have a child, we talked about having more than one child. That was always in our plan. Well, 10 years ago this year, Darla was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which is why I promote the MS walk, and they told us that in itself would not hinder us from being able to have a child, which was very good news because we desperately wanted to have children one day. We weren't ready at that time. It was 1998, and we were both working back then, and had just moved into our house 2 years before that, and everything. Darla went through some very serious complications with her MS and ended up not working. That was back in 99. She stopped working in 99, and then wasn't really a good time for us to have a child. First of all, Darla had complete paralysis on one side of her body. That was one of her MS attacks, or what they call an exacerbation. She was hospitalized and then went through a inpatient physical rehab, occupational physical therapy rehab thing. So she basically went from bedridden to wheelchair bound to walker to walking with a cane to walking on her own, which is what she does now. Some time passed. That was in 99, and then in 2000 things had sort of leveled off health-wise. She was on a drug for MS. It was a once-a-week injection, and it's not a cure. There's no cure for MS, but this particular drug, there are 3 that I know of that are used for keeping MS at bay, sort of trying to keep the symptoms lessened. And she was on one of those drugs. It was once-a-week injection that I would administer for her, and unless I was out of town or something, she would do it for herself. And basically, that particular drug would cause her to be like having the flu the very next day, every single week. So we'd do the shot on a Friday, so that on Saturday she could recover and I would be here, and so on. We decided we wanted to have a child, which required us to stop taking the medication, which opened her up to all kinds of possible medical problems related to MS. It took us some time to conceive, Thankfully, we were able to do it naturally, and that all worked out fine. Um, she got pregnant. I don't know. It was a number of months before you got pregnant.
It was like 9 months.
Maybe 9 months it took us to get pregnant. So she was off of her drug this whole time. And then our intention was to breastfeed when Kaya was born. And so we started that process, and about a week or so after Kaya was born, we were laying in bed one morning and just exhausted. I had taken a week off of work. I took at least a week off, maybe 2, when Kaya was born. And we were laying in bed one morning, and I'll never forget this, Darla telling me that she either couldn't open her eyes or for some reason she could not see. Long story short was Darla had gone completely blind, couldn't see a foot in front of her face. So that was scary, you know. So she had to go on steroid treatments, which meant she had to stop breastfeeding because the baby was... Actually, we didn't stop breastfeeding right away. They said it wouldn't be a problem. Kaya was drinking breast milk that had steroids in it, and she went nutso. Wouldn't sleep, colicky, crying, went crazy. So we stopped breastfeeding, went on formula when Kaya was about a week and a half, 2 weeks old. Darla had to go through steroid therapy, and then we shortly after that made the decision to go back on drugs for the MS. But this time we went on a different one. And to this day, now Kaya is 7, so right after Kaya was born we went on this drug, and she has been on this particular one it's every day. We give her a shot every night. She's been on it for about 7 years. We have elected not to risk potential health problems in order to have another child naturally. No, that wasn't in our plan, but it's what our plans ended up being for us. And you know, we have toyed with the idea of adoption and that kind of thing. I'm never serious enough, at this point at least, to do it. Not saying that we would never do that still, but you know, when you have an only child, you know, Kaya's 7, and now that it's sort of set in our minds that she's our only child, we have a very unique and wonderful relationship with her, and we almost feel like now it would be a disservice to bring another child into the house and all of that. I don't know, there's just so much to think about. But at the risk of jeopardizing Darla's health and going off of her medication, which she so desperately needs to stay on, we've decided not to have any more children. So that also explains why I really need to have the big V surgery here soon, because we wouldn't want to accidentally get pregnant either. So anyway, that's the long, 8 minutes and something already. That's the long version of why Kaya's an only child. So, I could stretch this all the way to 10 minutes and answer some more questions. By the way, Stacey, thank you for that question. A lot of people have asked us that over the years. Teresa12321 says, I know that you've mentioned that you're quite the car connoisseur. Which are your favorites and what is your dream car? This was the first question on this video, and I am quite the car connoisseur. I drive, in someone else's question, I'll get to this down the list, someone else's question is what kind of car do I drive now? My dream car would probably be something like a Maybach, which is like a $400,000 car. It's the ultra luxury car. I'll never afford it. Even if I could afford it, I probably wouldn't buy it. But if I were given a choice to have any vehicle for free, I would pick a Maybach. M-A-Y-B-A-C-H. Go look it up. It's amazing. I'm working my way up to that. I have a Lexus right now, but I bought it used. It wasn't expensive or anything like that. And people are always making fun of me because I have a Lexus and that. It wasn't expensive, so I'm working my way up to the Maybach. Alright, I think I'm just about out of time. I am. Y'all take care, and until next time, remember, drive those luxury cars carefully. They'll only protect you with airbags.